Hey, whether you got the morning wood or the morning should, it's time to get the day going. Good morning. If you're rolling over with the morning wood, man, you better do something about it. Or you better get your ass out of bed. We got a special guest here today. AJ Zeglen's joining us here. Do you guys know AJ? Friend of the lab, the original business athlete coming in here today. Boys, we are going to dig into, we're going to get into today emotional vulnerability and expressing feelings. Yeah. Relationship stability and authenticity. We got a special guest here today. AJ Zeglen's joining us here. Do you guys know AJ? Friend of the lab, the original business athlete coming in here today. Boys, we are going to dig into emotional vulnerability and expressing feelings. Yeah. Relationship stability and authenticity. And of course, living up to expectations.
There's nothing normal. There's nothing average about me ever. I can be a little tired, yes. And I can be in the green room taking a breather before I get out of here ready to kick ass, yes. But don't ever tag me with normal. Don't ever tag me with outdo. We're coming after you like a goddamn wildcat. What are you going to say today to outdo yesterday's question?
If you wake, you start your day with the morning wood, you got to do something with it, right? So if you're starting your day with the morning wood, boys,
put it to work, baby.
Yeah, put it to work.
Funny enough, I'm not in the mountains, but I got another bear story. Check this out.
Uh-oh.
So my uncle basically went to the cabin, right? I don't know what, I guess to just put plainly, I guess that bear wasn't quite as intimidating because the son of a bitch broke in through the kitchen window and wiped out.
Podcast called Bear Stories and leave them there. That's actually pretty funny, Cam. That's a pretty good one.
Can't complain.
Yeah.
I'm here spending the morning with my three favorite guys.
That's what I'm talking about. Get her, John.
Hey, listen, my decisions are mine. I don't have to force my decisions on other people.
Hangover with a kid is no joke, but I didn't have my kids. So it was me, my two sisters, and my wife. And we let loose, but, back at it. 2-day hangovers when you get to 40.
That's it. When your partner knows your self-sabotage cues and calls you out on them, it's a sign of deep understanding and care.
That is the biggest sign of love that there is.
Boys, if you're waking up and you're feeling shitty about yourself, dude, take some self-improvement. Take care of yourself. Your wife might want to touch you. Just saying. If you have bad habits, if you're sitting around stinking and not cleaning yourself and being a lazy schlep, your wife ain't attracted to you. Your Uncle Keith got himself into a problem there, Marty, one morning when I was just in the middle of the night having my peanut butter habit in the kitchen, and my old big ass, hairy white ass is in the kitchen naked eating peanut butter, and Lauren comes out in the middle of the night going, "What the hell are you doing?"
That was one of the biggest. That was one of the hardest habits for me to break, and it was embarrassing.
Yes.
Sometimes you need that though. Like you need that embarrassment. You need that kick in the ass sometimes.
True strength, it comes from being open, gentlemen, and admitting when you're struggling, like I was with the peanut butter job. Because you might be a man, but gentlemen, you're still a human. Be a man. Be human. Show your vulnerabilities.
When she puts forth that effort consistently, time and time, I think that's such an attractive quality.
Sex.
That, I actually think she looks better now than
calories. The effort is what you pay attention to.
You got to get your skull sorted out before you can get your biceps sorted out.
They had gone through the Guinness Book of Worlds together and picked a record that they wanted to try to get and establish together.
Hey, listen, I've only said this once. I'm going to get shit from Art if I don't say it a few times here today. Subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to Mornings in the Lab. Hit it. Just hit it. Comment on it. Drop it. Share it with your friends. It's AJ pushing kick Marty's shitty car in the parking lot.
Let me tell you, when I made the decision, I joked it's the sickness, because it was like I was doing, and it was coming down to every little element of my life.
Bicep curls are great for targeting your biceps and adding some definition, but they only work one part of your arm. If you want bigger, stronger arms, you need to mix it up. If you want bigger arms, that's how you build balanced, powerful arms. That's the fitness tip for today.
2023 study published in Psychology Today, found that 55% of men feel uncomfortable expressing their emotions due to fear of judgment.
I've somehow now convinced myself that I'm being strong by avoiding what I'm scared of. That's the opposite of strength, right? That's the opposite of courage. If I really wanted to show courage, then I actually have to face what I'm scared of head on. So if I'm scared of being judged by people, if I'm scared of being vulnerable and speaking openly and communicating honestly with people, then that's what I have to do.
I discovered earlier on that crying was strength. No, I was overwhelmed with emotion. I was tired. You know, we're talking 50, 60 dudes, you know, tour bus, wrestling tour, you know, and I just let it loose, man. I had no problem with letting it loose.
What I find incredible about the story, John, is that we all as men don't want to cry. But the moment we cry in front of other men are like, oh, good, you're doing it. I want to come wrap my arms around you and love you and show some love.
If you got the courage to be first, you're going to find a line behind. Let your shit hang out and you're going to find out who loves you.
It pays off to be a good person and be a likable person, because now your team is like your brotherhood. Even if it's one person, or even if it's just writing it in a journal, let it out. It's healthy.
Emotional suppression is destroying men's relationships.
Right.
Avoiding vulnerability is damaging men's connections with others.
How are we going to take someone somewhere that we're not willing to go ourselves? People are much more likely to believe what you do than what you say. By suppressing it, you know, you're just kicking that down the road and you're going to have to deal with it at some time. But it really, you know, goes against, you know, the kind of fundamental elements of communication, right? And honesty.
One of the things that I do now in my 50s is the people that are important to me, I tell them I love them. And I'm not doing it. I don't want a response.
Without vulnerability, trust and meaningful connections go away. You know, and it's funny, guys, because a lot of this stuff is so common sense and so cliche, yet we just don't act on it.
The problem with perspective sometimes is we don't have it immediately in the moment when we feel we need it.
How we're teaching our boys to be vulnerable and share emotions and feelings.
We know that every day is crucial. We want to have a good day. So we crush the morning, we own the day.
Tomorrow's success is planned today. Before you go to bed, guys, get those easy wins in the bank. I got activity in the bank is how I call it, right? Like my day's already underway and I got a bunch of calories stacked in the bank.
Interesting thing about Marty's podcast is I still haven't gotten the damn invitation.
You can't play in the game if you don't practice.
Your feeling is a powerful thing. And you could choose to let your feelings help you or hurt you. You're going to experience anxiety and you're going to experience excitement. And sometimes you're not going to be able to tell them apart.
I might have been holding something in for a year and then I get upset. And now I'm expressing everything to you when I didn't know how to communicate effectively. I might be frustrated off the court because of things on the court, but I can't show up every day and express that to my coach because he doesn't care.
We've been just talking a lot about fakery and stuff that's not real and stuff that's messing with our heads around FOMO in the world of social media. He helps find the best creators for your brand with AI-powered precision. He's on a mission to put quality creators in the spotlight. The FTC is cracking down on influencers and brands that buy fake followers. A big step forward for the creator economy. It's about time. I would invite you to second guess every number you see across every creator you engage with and ask yourself whether it's real.
When you show up to an account that's massive and it's just a bunch of garbage, well, then you clearly realize that nobody's showing up there for any value.
Fear of inadequacy, gentlemen, is undermining men's relationships. Anxiety about not being good enough drive many men to question their worth. John,
the first step is to turn the mirror on yourself and ask yourself, am I doing the things that will make her happy? When you do the things that you know you should be doing to nurture a loving relationship, you're going to get away from all this.
Our confidence usually starts to come into question when we start comparing outside of ourselves and when we start looking at things that we have no control over. The magic of it, we'll say, is in the consistency, right? Which isn't magic at all, right? But it's just doing it every day. All of a sudden, that partner that you want, that you're hoping for, that attention that you're seeking from your partner, you start to get it, not because you sat around and waited for it or wished for it to happen, but because you became that person yourself.
Realize that you have control based upon your actions.
Yes.
And you can really, when you take that action to make things better, then the anxiety is managed.
I've been in situations where I was clearly the placeholder boyfriend. I wasn't the one, that she actually liked. Sometimes you're just gonna have those thoughts. This person doesn't like me. We're human. It happens.
if a person doesn't want to spend time with you, then you're doing something that's pushing them away. I mean, good night. I mean, this is pretty simple.
We lead by example, right? Or people lead by example. People are more likely to believe us if they see what we're doing. You just built your own list. Go out there and do that stuff every single day. And when you do that, you're creating your own experience. That's where you get your confidence from.
We get so caught up in making every excuse why not to make it happen. Our coach here is just saying, well, no, write it down and make it happen. Starting today/tomorrow, my mom and my daughter are getting a note from me every single morning. Because why wouldn't they? I'm in my 3rd week into my workout regimen and I have a particular fitness question. I'm noticing particular weakness in my left arm and I can touch hands behind my back, one side, other side is a 6 centimeter difference. Dude,
the first thing that I would say is we want to find out if there's any damage that we need to know about before we create a plan to get that thing back in action.
It's not just about growing your business, it's about growing yourself. No activity in the world will teach you more about personal growth and self-development than trying to build a business.
As you guys are waking up going, oh shit, I need to get my shit together. We're building a team to help you get your shit together here in the labs.
I got obviously clients coming in. I got some hockey guys coming in after, and then I'm off to the clinic for some of my mental performance people that I'm working with.
Still working on the mental game, so I'll have a meditation session later on this afternoon, and
nice.
Yeah, it's gonna get busy next week.
We're going to talk some entrepreneur stuff, and we've had Adam on the show before, so we're going to continue that conversation with Adam as well.